Alright, it's May 18th and it's a dreary day, but it's 3 weeks after my first video. I want to show everybody how big everything's growing. So we'll start out here with the squash. You can see this is the spaghetti squash, and this is Jordan with her new duck, Sweetheart, and she's loving on it. This is our spaghetti squash. You can see under here some little squash that will be coming. It's doing pretty good. The cantaloupes are blooming, the watermelons are blooming, the cilantro is doing pretty good under there. Let's see over here. Eggplant is getting a lot bigger. And this thing just keeps producing. I pull stuff out of it every day to feed these fish, and it keeps producing. Alright, now the garden has gotten kind of overwhelming. I pulled some stuff out and put it in dirt because it's just getting too big. And I had to pull up a lot of my tomatoes. But let's take a look at these right here. Aren't those pretty? And I've got tons of those everywhere up here. They're just all like that. It's just gorgeous. Let's see. There's a little banana pepper. There's some Anaheims back here looking pretty good.
Daddy?
Yes, love?
My little duckling was sitting her.
Yeah, well, let's hold her upright so she'll feel safe. Basil forest is looking pretty. Let's see. Those are some cayenne peppers back there. And then the jalapenos. You can see them all through there. They're starting to produce, and these are young plants, so they'll start getting a lot thicker. The grapevine's going up. I don't know if I'm gonna actually get grapes this year, but it was worth a shot. It's always an experiment. Let's see, you got cucumbers back here that got flowers all over them, and some of them actually have, I don't know if I can find one. Some had like an actual cucumber. There's one right there, cucumber, right behind it. Let's see, I had requests for some people to show the fish. You can see the fish down there. There's at least one showing up. I put a bunch of wood in there and some different places for them to hide and hang out. Makes them happy. Plants are doing good. This is that tangerine dream plant. It's doing really well. This is the mucho nacho. It's starting to get its big jalapenos on it. This one right here is going to be a Santiago. And this cayenne plant, if you can see all those things, but there's kind of cayennes everywhere. I didn't know how much one plant could produce, but this is crazy. Now, I figured I'll show you the other side, and then I'll show you all feeding the fish. These are all tomatoes here that I just threw in from seed, and I might have to thin them. I don't know how all that works exactly. I'm getting used to the whole thing right now, but it's kind of going nuts. I got squash all in here. It's really built up, and let's see inside here if we can see any of these squash. There's one right there, and then on the other side over here, there's a lot of little squashlings coming up. And these are, what are those called? Sugar snap peas? I'm expecting to actually get some off those any day now. The watermelon's coming out. It's got little flowers on it, and the cantaloupe's got little flowers on it, so hopefully I'll get all kinds of stuff off of this business. So let's go over here, throw some little food out to the fish and see what they do. There's a decent amount of them showing out there today. We'll see if they actually are hungry. I might be feeding them too much, but yeah, they're eating. But I want as much poop in this system as I can so that they'll feed me back. And that's the auto siphon working right there. Alright, these are some plants that I pulled yesterday and put out here. They were looking kind of pitiful, and they had they just weren't getting any sun because there was just too many peppers. I didn't realize that there was that many peppers. So we moved them over here, and I bought this plant yesterday. It's a stevia plant. I've never even tried this before, but it's like eating sugar. And I put some in my coffee this morning. I pulled a couple leaves off, and it sweetened it. And I never thought about that. I think that's pretty incredible. Since the last video, I also planted a couple grapevines here. You can see the grapes right there. I'm trying to train them to go up this and kill this wisteria out. There's another grapevine. And now here's the peppers and tomatoes that you saw last time. Getting a lot bigger. Let's see. Tomatoes under there. There's some peppers. Those are going to be, what are those? The poblanos. Got a couple of those. And then, I'm not going to bore you by showing you every tomato and pepper on these things, but needless to say, they're all getting really big. And the potatoes are doing pretty well. Kind of switched back to straw, because, I don't know. It's just all an experiment, that's why. And that's about it. So you can see in 3 weeks, if you go back and look at the last video, you can see just how much this thing has grown. It's really, really huge. So, if you have any other questions, just let me know.